So what's going to happen to Kamala next? Is she done permanently?
She doesn't think she's done. She just signed with CAA, just like Biden, and she's flirting with a run for governor. That's why she's out there doing word salads again. Did you see her latest one about the smell?
It's embarrassing.
I don't understand. What's going on in her head?
It's very embarrassing when you see that. It's not even funny how embarrassing
Pat,
it is.
what do you think the reason is for that? Is it like stupidity? Like, what's going on here?
Lindy Li talks Bill Clinton with PBD. Guys, for those of you who do not know, Lindy Li is a longtime Democrat, you could say political player of sorts. She was a big fundraiser for the Democrats, a campaign advisor, et cetera, et cetera. She was actually supporting Kamala Harris in this most recent campaign, then suddenly apparently changed her views right after the 2024 election, because that happens. Yes, I am being a little bit facetious here, but nonetheless, she is still interesting to listen to because, I mean, hey, it's somebody from the other side, you know, or maybe she's not on the other side now, whatever, who is willing to talk, and that always makes for interesting discussion. So we're going to get right into it. It's going to be fun, but first, do me a huge favor here. Like our video and share it around so we can keep bringing you all this great, hard-hitting content. As always, Patriots, I'm your host, Darian, and this is Resist the Mainstream.
So what's going to happen to Kamala next? Is she done permanently?
She doesn't think she's done. She just signed with CAA, just like Biden, and she's flirting with a run for governor. That's why she's out there doing word salads again. Did you see her latest one about the smell?
It's embarrassing.
I don't understand. What's going on in her head?
It's very embarrassing when you see that. It's not even funny how embarrassing
Pat,
it is.
what do you think the reason is for that? Is it like stupidity? Like, what's going on here?
No, it's being too nervous to want to. She always tries to say a very epic thing. Like she's trying to be like, if you could only be here.
Yeah.
It is like so smell. And she's trying to be so dramatic. She doesn't need to be. She just needs to talk like a regular person. You don't need to be dramatic about it. She tries to be dramatic about it.
Because when I speak with her on a one-on-one basis, she's not like this. But all of a sudden, whenever there's a camera in front of her face, she's like, I don't understand.
You know what it's like? When she was in her 20s, a mentor told her something that she admired so much. Could have been the
Willie Brown.
The Willie Brown guy or somebody that said something to him. I mean, he was a heavy-duty guy. He was a very deeply connected in a deep kind of way. And, you know, maybe he said something to her that stuck out until today. She thinks she needs to always show up when the camera's on. Could have been Montel, could have been somebody. Who knows what was said to her. It's very weird how she reacted.
I do want to say that if you're 30-something or in your late 20s dating a 6-year-old or something, it does raise questions.
What type of questions?
Is it for political reasons that you're dating this guy? Especially if he happens to be the mayor of San Francisco? I mean, that's the obvious question, right? I think, and it's not misogynistic for me to raise that question. Because I would never, I mean, I don't want to go there but I just think it's very weird. I just think it's very weird.
Yeah, you would.
You were like, yeah, I don't want to go there, but there's a 62-year-old guy that I'm talking to. It's really nice. I would actually think about going on a date with him. You're like, you know what, let me not put it out there.
Exactly. You can read my thought bubble.
What's so funny where you went? No, listen, I mean, look.
I love how BBD just calls her out. He's like, yeah, you're just as shameless as Kamala is. Don't even cap. But he did it really tactfully and in a humorous way. Clever guy. Now, as far as Kamala goes, it's not a question, all right? So I don't even know what Lee over here is even talking about, okay? She got the start of her political career because she did she performed a favor for Willie Brown, all right? And then, you know, the good luck and good fortune just started rolling in for good old Kamala Harris. God, you ever wonder how Doug Emhoff feels when he sees a media report about Kamala Harris and her old little escapades with Willie Brown and Montel, whatever his face is, you know, that rapper guy? Oh, talk about I don't want to say the word. It's not nice, but it rhymes with Chuck, okay? That's what Kamala's husband is. You got to feel bad for the dude. Also, it is hilarious how Lee feels the need to say that, oh, you know, it's not misogynist to do this. Remember, she's a longtime Democrat. She's probably used to calling people a misogynist or whatever other hateful name herself. I'm sure she did it plenty of times back when she was a leftist, which was, you know, about 2 seconds ago. So, you know, you can tell she still kind of got that defense mechanism going, like, I'm not a sexist, all right, I swear. Don't cancel me, lefties, even though she's, you know, making money off the right now. Kind of weird, but whatever.
The man's got a reputation, okay? He's got a reputation.
And how she had these, like, no-show jobs, 6-figure, like, it raises questions.
I don't know what it was. You know, everybody has different nicknames. I think some guy in LA called him a tripod. I don't know what it was.
Wow.
I mean, whether it was in a media business or something like that. There was something I was said about Willie Brown. But last thing here, anything comes up with Epstein, because these Epstein files, do you have an opinion at all? Hey, you know, it's going to come out. No, it's not going to come out. Hey, this is what's going on. No, that's what's going on. How closely are you following that, and what do you know about it?
I just want to say the fact that the DNC elevated Bill Clinton as one of the keynote speakers at the convention and that they had him running around Georgia, around the East Coast campaigning for Kamala Harris, disgusting. It was political malpractice. Who does that appeal to? He's already been exposed as a sexual predator. Anything connected to the Clinton name should be discarded and discredited. It's shameful. It's just shameful. And it's frankly scary that Hillary came so close in 2016.
What do you think would have happened if she would have won?
It would have been another Bill Clinton presidency.
He balanced the budget. He did a few things right. You know, if you listen to some of his speech, I actually don't think it would have been Bill Clinton. I think he did some things right. There was a video that we watched played the other day about him saying, we have fired 300,000 government employees to be able to save money. We are, you know, saving money with wasted expenditure. We have, for the first time, balanced the budget for 3 years in a row. Never been done before. And they hit da-da-da. And, you know, that was kind of some of him and Newt Gingrich actually worked very well together at the time, the stuff that was going on. So, but I don't put the two together. I think he's very different than her. When I was in Hope, Arkansas for a funeral, I was going around asking people, hey, is Bill Clinton the player that everybody say he is? They're like, absolutely. I said, how do the locals feel about it? He says, you ever met Hillary? I'm like, no. Wow. He says, if you were married to Hillary, you'd also be running around. He says, that woman is evil. The guy says at one funeral when she was there and the way she treated people and the way she talked to everybody, she's like, man, everybody feared her because she was just an a-hole to all of us. I don't know if this is true or not. I've never had that interaction till the day we break bread, which when one day me and Hillary break bread, that would be an interesting breaking bread. I don't know if I would eat the bread, but I think I would definitely have the conversation.
You got to watch out for any.
Can you imagine?
Don't take your eyes off the bread.
Johnny, I'm okay with this, buddy. I'll just take the water. Or you know what? I'll just go across the street to 7-Eleven, grab a bottle of Topo Chico and come back and have a hot dog from 7-Eleven, and you can serve the oysters and caviar and whatever you want to serve. But
all right, there is a lot to unpack here. So from the looks of it, these people that PBD talked to are basically saying that they don't really blame Bill Clinton for, you know, cheating on Hillary, which, you know, not the most moral stance. It is kind of funny in a way, but I do got to say, well, you know, Hillary Clinton is very awful to deal with, and who knows, maybe she's even was trying to do some funny stuff to her own husband and he had to take a break from her for a bit. Bill Clinton is not a good guy, all right? You know, we've got the Epstein ties. I'm not going into details with that. You can look into that if you're more interested. That's a prime example of his kind of, I guess, you know, alleged malpractice, we'll say. Monica Lewinsky incident, all right? Really quite disgusting behavior for somebody who's, you know, especially while in office. And, you know, one could argue that he was maybe taking advantage of her, maybe she felt pressured into doing what she was doing because he was in a position of authority. I don't know. You know, there's a lot going on there. But also, he has been credibly accused of sexual assault by a woman named Juanita Broderick. I always have so much trouble with her last name. You guys know how to say it. Let me know in the comments. I really want to know. Appreciate that. All this to say, not exactly a great guy.
Lindy, anything else you want to say to the audience before we wrap up?
I just want to thank you. You've treated me with tremendous respect and graciousness. You and your staff, man, wow, the best staff in the world. This has just been incredible. Thank you for giving me a chance to share my story. You are a national treasure. Thank you for everything that you do. Your interviews literally shape international politics, not just within the confines of our country, but Brazil, everywhere, you know? So thank you. And I loved your speech at CPAC. You absolutely crushed it.
Thank you. I appreciate you. By the way, Lindy is on Manect. I'm sure there's a lot of questions people got. If you got any questions, you can go Manect Lindy. And she's officially on Manect. That's a nice dress right there.
Oh, thank you.
All right, guys. I put that glaze fest to an end because that was getting a bit much. And, you know, I think it's not surprising why she's so thankful to PBD considering, you know, she's making money off this business. Anyways, point is, I think that lady's a snake. That's my unsolicited opinion. A lot of these former Democrats, you got to be careful about them. All right, remember, Bill Maher is still voting Democrat, even after conservatives' remarks about how based he was. So just be careful. That's all I'm saying. With all that being said, everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. We really appreciate it. What'd you think? Comment below in the video. We want to hear your thoughts. The good, the bad, the ugly, all of it. Hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you again soon. God bless.